This conference will now be recorded.
So by default, the path of the inventory file is set up it here /root invent a. So I edited later, and previously I edited it, and now we have to use this the same way. Okay, and this is our inventory file, right? I hope this is clear. Now we're going to follow first this book. Implementing Ansible playbook. So server A is given example like the host server, the configuration management server, which is going to manage another server using Ansible automation tool. So this is actually in the book they mention here a developer has asked you to configure Ansible to automate the setup of web server for your company's internet website. The developer is using the host server A to develop the website and test your Ansible playbook, right? So what we have to do, we have to first create a working directory. They're giving some example and we can directly take it here. I mean, maybe the path is different. Has been created on workstation for the purpose managing the managed node server A. The directory, so server A, what it mean? Can anyone explain me? Any Linux guy? Suppose who's the that guy is gone, I guess. Okay, no problem. So that has already been populated with the Ansible.cfg configuration file and inventory file, which I already showed you. The managed host server A is already defined in the inventory file, right? Now what we have to do, the developer needs the managed host to have the latest version of HTTPD and firewall D package installed. Also, the HTTPD and firewall D services need to be enabled and running, right? So this is the task basically. We are going to discuss it today. Firewall D should allow remote system access to HTTP services, right? So the book is saying construct a playbook on the control node workstation called home student, and this is the file they want to create. Creating a playbook in the playbook that configures the managed host as requested by the developer. Also include task to create. This is where we have to create this file. Can anyone tell me? Any Linux guys here or not? Linux
Okay,
guys.
so basically what they are looking from this exercise, right? So basically we have to create a playbook. The playbook it contains the YAML file. The YAML
Mhm.
file will be placed in the home directory, where the directory is an working directory. They mentioned as in home students implementation playbook, right? So that is the directory where the playbook YAML file will be stored in the workstation node. So workstation is a node where it has a configuration file along with
Mhm.
it is a managed node. Okay, and this is a managing node where it will be manage the server A node. So that is what my understanding. Okay, and then all the configuration will be stored in the ansible.cfg file. And we have two files. One is ansible.cfg file, another one is inventory file. So inventory file will be the path will be mentioned in the ansible.cfg file. Whatever the path located we created for the inventory, that has to be mentioned in the ansible.cfg file. And also,
Okay.
so the task, the playbook task, right? So what are the tasks which we have to complete it? The
Mhm.
installation of package of HTTPD firewall D. So these two packages has to be installed automatically, and then services has to be enabled, and then the port has to be enabled to allow the access. So this is the rules, or this is the task which has to be accomplished in the intranet YAML file should contains.
Okay.
And
So
also in
can
this
you
task,
explain me this?
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is my question. Where we going to create this index.html file on the managed server node on the server, the main Ansible server or the host we're going to manage. That was my question.
That
Where we
will
have to
be
create this file.
no, that will be on the host where we are trying to install this HTTPD as well as the Firewall. Where you are trying to install this Ansible playbook.
This should be created on the configuration node or the any inventory host node.
No, they mentioned it's a server A, right? That need to be run. This where www.html.index.html it should be created on the server A.
Okay. Is Amar join us or Tulsi is speaking? I think
Yeah, it's
Tulsi is
Tulsi.
speaking.
Yeah, I fixed my mic issue.
Okay. So understood, right? So let's create this file. This is my main Ansible server. How can you check which Ansible is? So I'm just running this command, and it will show me the version and everything. But this is my host node. I'm just very taking very simple. Ansible hyphen version. It will not show me anything, which means Ansible is not installed. Okay, so let's create first. YAML file name is what is the name is intranet.yaml. So I'm using Vim and intranet.yml. Done. Okay. So let me save first here this file, and I'm quitted. Now, Tulsi, this file where I have to create on the same server
This
here.
should be where in the workstation, like where the Ansible has been installed.
We're talking about this node one, right? Okay.
Like
So the
we were
same.
running the Ansible hyphen version, right? There, the Ansible module has been installed. You need to create this file in that particular server.
So it is like you need not create the file manually. You have to write a task for that, for creating that file. You need not create it manually.
Okay. Let me leave this. So first we're going to. It's very confusing. We are also not able to understand it in the book, but
It is
that's.
like on the server A, you have to install HTTPD and firewall D, and then
Mhm.
create the file var www.html index.html, and the content of index.html has to be welcome to example.com intranet. So that is the task that we need to do here.
Okay. So let's following this step actually one by one. So they're saying create a new playbook name internet. So I will create and perform the task. So let me go to the next page. I'm sorry. Should be 94. Okay, 2.1. So create an new playbook internet. We already did that. Now we have to mention these things. So actually, it's also explaining here how you write a YAML file for this task. Add the following line. Suppose name internet services. So what I'm going to do here. Insert mode and so how you write a YAML playbook YAML file. 3 hash or dash, enter, and now you have to give 1 space name colon space intranet services. This is what the 22.2 is saying, right? It's clear? And press enter. Second line, 2.3. Add the following line, file to indicate that the play applies to the server A managed host. Be sure to indent and two spaces to indicate that is contained by the play. Okay, what is that, guys? You have to understand each and every lines. Otherwise, you're going to mess up this. Tell me fast. Okay. So I'm mentioning server 1. Okay. Add the following lines in investigation, but sure to end the line with two spaces to indicate that it is contained by the play. Be sure to indent the line with two spaces it contained in the play. So name, I written here name, and the next line I given it two spaces. Then I started mentioning this is called basically block. One block. Name is started with the one block. Host is equal to key and the value is server 1. Now I'm using same line and mentioning 2.4 become colon space yes. That's what's happening. Somebody going and joining again and again. Okay, no problem. This is called yes. Okay. Okay, let's stop here. This is clear, right? I use a 3 hash, enter, space, dash, space name, colon, intranet services. Then I take a second line, two spaces. Name, I started from below the M, host, colon, server A, become yes. Now we have to do next. Next point is 3. Next saying here the following line, define the beginning of the task list. Be sure to enter the line with two spaces to indicate that it contains by the play, right? You are here actually. So this giving the example, what is this? This is the block, and don't confuse guys over here. Okay. Define the group package management task. So what it creating here? Group. So to create a new block for task of ensuring that the latest version of the necessary packages are installed, be sure to indent the line with two spaces, a dash and a space. This indicates that the block is contained by the play and that is an item in the task list, right? Come down. To create a task to ensuring that version of the HTTPD package is installed, be sure to indent the line with 4 spaces, a dash, a space. This indicates that the block is contained by the play and that it is an item of in the task list. So now next task, it's also saying you have to mention the HTTPD as a key and value to be installed. The first entry provides a descriptive name for the task. The second entry is installed with 6 spaces and calls the YAML module. The remaining entries are intended with 8. Next page. This is how it looks like. So if I write this task, Let me go to the YAML file again. Insert mode. So we have to change this. Name is just like a comment. You can mention anything. Latest HTTPD version installed, right? Now what are you using here? We have to give yum Is anybody getting confused over here or not? What's going on? No idea. Okay, let me twist this. Okay, so you need to practice this, right? Now, second is saying name latest firewall version installed. This task is for what? Latest HTTP version installed. Now, next one is saying, so I'm writing it in the same playbook. It's space name colon latest firewall D version installed. Yum colon name colon firewall D state colon space latest. Okay, and let me first save this. Okay, guys, clear? So we are now completed 4.3. Yum is basically a module to run this task.
Shamim, this is Jana.
Tell me. Yeah, Jana, tell me.
Shamim, and the second entry is intended with 6 spaces like that they mention about what's they going. I don't understand.
6 spaces. I think I'm good with this. It's fine now. Let's see if any error will come. We'll do that. Okay. We're not running right now. Let's come to the guys very fast to 5.1 point. Add the following line to create a new block, configure the block. Okay, we'll do this. Yeah. So what this task will do? Actually, the same line they are repeating, and we have to add some more parameters over here. So you learn now how to define this. Now in 5.2, the first entry provides a descriptive name for the task. The second entry is intended with 6 spaces and calls the firewall D module. Right. So either you can define this module is like this also. The remaining entries are intended with 8 spaces and pass.
Line, right? The below line, whatever you are mentioning, it has to be permanently. You have to mention the rule, firewall rule, to be enable the HTTP. So to make it
Yes.
permanent, so for that we need to make this like a name services HTTP permanent equal to true. So that's we have to mention.
Okay.
And if it is an immediate effort, then it has to be yes. Yes.
Exactly. Different tasks. Okay, so I did one mistake over here. I will come up, right? Okay.
So this example here mainly it
No.
explains like hosting the web application.
Yeah.
Like the first block that is HTTPD. So HTTPD is nothing but a Tomcat here. So in other
No. That's not Tomcat. That's an Apache server. So that is an
yeah,
Apache web
that
server.
is what
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is
So
what the
basically,
Apache web
what is that
server.
one, right? So the first one is an HTTP. First, we check whether that HTTP installed or not. So if it is not installed, we use yum as a installer. So yum is an update manager where it will be installed. So which package it will be installed? It will be the latest package which is in the repository will be installed in the server. The second one is the same thing. The firewall package has to be installed. So this is the two tasks which I have completed. So the third
Yes.
task is 5.2. That's for after completing the
Enable
installation, we need to we
enable
need
the
to upload
firewall.
the HTTP firewall. Yeah, that's right.
So here on the state, you can specify different values. Like here you have latest. So there are few other parameters also that you can specify. Maybe like present, update, and latest. So these are the and absent. So these are the four parameters that you can specify against state. So when you mention it as a latest, so what happens here is first it will go and check on the server if Tomcat HTTPD is installed or not. So if it is installed, it will check if it is on the latest version or on the older version. If it has the older version of HTTPD installed, then it will update to the latest version. Suppose if I just give it as uh, update in place of latest, what happens? It goes to the server, verifies if HTTPD is installed or not. If it is installed, it verifies for the version, and if any update is available, it will update. Suppose if HTTPD is not installed, then it is not going to install HTTPD when it is update. Suppose in the case when I have given it as latest and if HTTPD is not installed, then it will install the latest version of HTTPD. So those are the different parameters that can be given for a state. Here state is for checking the current state of the particular application. Suppose in place of latest, if I give absent, what it does is it will uninstall that application HTTPD. So that is how this goes.
Okay, no problem. So let's go to the next point, and this is what we have to define now. So guys, you can see the sequence. First, the playbook when run is on the Ansible. What it look for in services, host server one become yes. Then the next task is what are you going to do? Latest HTTPD version install using yum HTTPD and state latest. Then what next task is? It will do latest firewall yum module and name is firewall latest, right? Okay. Next is we have to start the services. So one space hyphen name. Okay, let me give one more enter over here. I don't care. I mean, if it's done or not, but you must. We are practicing actually to write a playbook. I'll come space. What we have to mention? Point 5.2. So this is counting forward permit HTTP service and these items to the playbook. Now come to the 6th point. Define the service. So it's clearly saying every service enabled and running, be sure to indent the line with the 4 spaces, a dash, and a space. This indicates that the block is contained by the play and that it is an item in the task list. The name and the task and this is the list. The remaining entries are indented with 8 spaces and pass the necessary argument to ensure that the HTTP service is enabled and running. Okay, so just explain the above one. Okay, let's check what we write it written here. Okay, service name. Here. Okay. Next, add the lines. Create a task and ensure that the firewall disk services is enabled and running. Be sure to indent the line with 4 that the block contained by the play and the list. How we have to do this in the play? It's a little bit becoming a big task actually. space name colon okay. Add the necessary line to the home important playbook internet.yaml file to define the task for generating web content for testing. This is what we have to do in this only. Add the following lines to the home student import playbook into the YAML file to create a new block. Okay, so let me go directly to the block. This is what. Okay. Base connect to space http. Correct me if somewhere I got wrong.
Hey Shamim, you're not sharing the screen where you're typing the data on the button.
Guys, you are able to see my screen, right?
I could see only the PDF file.
PDF file only you can able to probably.
And you can see that.
Now we can see only the PDF,
Vinay, now it's
not
clear.
the.
Okay.
We don't see the terminal. Yeah, now we can see.
Now find some.
So let me share my screen again. Now you can see it, right? So this is all the task already written here. Let me make it big and go to the up. So we just created name and Vinay, anybody Ansible guy here who is already using here? I am a little bit confused over here because it's not a task. So this is okay with this line. What do you suggest? I'm confusing on the first one.
Yeah, the first one, the name, hosts, and become all three should be in the start in the same column. So the host should
Yes.
be just below the name.
This is right.
So usually why the spacing is given is suppose if you get into any of the programming languages, you use braces while coding. Suppose if I use an if statement, then as soon as if I open a brace, and then once the statement is done, I close the brace. So here in YAML, we don't have a concept of using braces. So we just use the indentation. For that reason, we
It is.
just use the spaces, appropriate spaces. So for example, on the yum, you can say like consider it as an like for an example, consider yum as an if statement. So you have written if and opening the brace and then writing these statements like a name, state, and then closing the brace. So here we don't have braces for a group of statements. So instead, for a group of statements, we just indentate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are near about to complete our task, and let's check this one. Look at the file, and okay, now point number 11, guys. I am here now. So this is how it should be look like, page number 98. So it will start from 98. Okay. 3 dash and 99. So this is how we have to write this. Name, internet services. Actually, Vinay is right. So if any confusion over here, we can correct it here and we can match our data from here, YAML file. So host server, we have to mention become yes, then we have to define the task, number one block. So this is what I have to mention over here, I think. So basically he's using a block. Vinay, any explanation over here?
Block, I'm not that sure. Maybe I'll just check and let you know by tomorrow or sometime. The block
Okay.
would be same like having a group of statements and making it as a single block.
Mhm.
I'm not that sure on that. I'll just verify that and let you know.
Okay, no problem.
It's like a block of statements.
So let me go a little bit with the PDF file. This one. Why they're using block, I am not much sure, but we can find if this is better understanding.
Even without the block, it should work fine.
Yeah.
So did you run the YAML file playbook?
Okay. So we are all set, right? Let me directly go to
Yes.
98 page. And so basically block they mention here, but you must sure where writing the, I think we need to move some spaces over here. Name is started from here. It is the same line, same column. You can see all the task is in the same one. Only this one is not.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like see the tasks whatever you defined in the beginning, right? Like yum and firewall D, all those belongs to one group, and the next is a different task.
Okay, but
So that
basically what happened? Mhm. What happen if I mention this kind of dash over here in the YAML file? So Ansible
yeah,
start looking first this one, then it will complete this task, then this one,
yes,
then this one, then this one. Exactly, right? I'm correct?
yes.
Okay.
It executes from top to bottom.
Top to bottom, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Even the name is not a mandatory thing. the name it is given only when you execute this YAML script, right? So you will just get to know like which step is getting executed. The name that will get displayed on the output console when you run the script. So for that reason, you need the
Hmm. Okay, guys, so that's fine. So number 12 step, they're saying verify the syntax of the internet.yaml playbook by executing this command. So this is command we can use and check if syntax is okay or not. So it will tell us our playbook is written correctly or not.
yeah.
Yeah. So let me run this Ansible hyphen playbook space hyphen hyphen syntax hyphen chk and your file name intranet.yaml. Something wrong with this actually. Yum is not a valid attribute for play. This error appear have to be in root internet.yaml line 6 column 4. But send the file depending on the exact syntax problem. The offending line appears to be name HTTPD version installed. So now we have to go back to this file, insert more, and we have to check where is that. Or should I create a task over here and we can go with this document?
No. Only one task is
Which one?
in the beginning. You have given a tag task, right?
Where you can see that?
No, he hasn't given. I think we have to give the task.
The task is required. So immediately after become, you would need to give a task.
Okay.
So if you go to the sheet,
Okay.
yeah, task, and then you have to indentate all those after the task. So right below become, you have to give tasks. Yeah, and now all the tasks below that needs to be moved right.
Yes.
So where we will be giving the blocks?
Now yum should be right below name. Yeah, and again next name and state should go 2 spaces. Yeah,
Okay, guys.
that's correct.
So Vinay, so the question is like, and when we'll be using block, because it has multiple blocks, right?
Yep.
Block is like a grouping a set of commands. That's all. So here you are just giving two statements. Like here, you are installing yum twice. So in that case, you just take it as a block of statements.
Okay.
Not mandatory actually.
A programmer can understand it better. We are all system admins. Actually.
It's been a long time since I used block. So I'll just have a look on that and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. So I think I'm fine with this line because this is not a task or what you're suggesting. The last
Even
line.
that is a task. Okay, fine. You can just again now check the syntax. You can save and go back and check the syntax.
Yes, this is fine now. Okay, let me write quickly and run the syntax. It's also giving me now error of 34 line, 4 columns. But this is finding to be okay. So we should change this also. Okay, let me go to the insert mode.
Let's try that.
Yes. I don't know why book is giving this is here and you have any idea on this?
Which one?
Why they mentioned the same line, the last one.
That's
And we actually just moved to the here. We started this line from here
yeah.
and all the they also mentioned
So
here
did
the
you
task.
understand what exactly is being happening in this playbook?
Your voice is
So
breaking actually.
do you understand what exactly is happening in this playbook? Like what each task is being done here.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
do you
no,
understand?
no, this is fine actually because connect to intranet HTTPD enabling the firewall, then connect to. So maybe we have to add this line actually. You know,
Which one?
this one. You can come to the. We have not created this one.
That is required. Uh, so you got to know like what is happening in YAML and what is happening in firewall D, right?
Mm-hmm.
So YAML that will install the software. So firewall D that is just for enabling the service on firewall D. So what service needs to be enabled, that is HTTPD, and how it needs to be done. So next is you have got service. So when you install an Apache or something, so you need to start the service, right? So for that we use this service and give the name of the service as HTTPD. And what should be the state of the service? Enabled is true means it will make sure the service is started. Suppose if I give us enable a state as stopped, then it will stop the service. So that is why that service is being used. So
Okay.
after service, what is the next
No,
task?
no, Vinay. Actually, I just need to understand a little bit confusion here in the YAML file.
Uh,
What about this block?
can you come again?
What about this block? You can
Yeah.
see my screen, right?
What? Uh,
So where we have to
so
create this? I have not created
no,
this file.
you need not create anything here. So that block, what it does is it is a copy command. What it is
Okay.
doing. So first it will go verify if that file exists or not, var www.html index.html. So if that file exists, then it will replace the content of that file with whatever content we have specified here. Got
Okay.
it?
So if you not created, it will create a new one, right?
File doesn't exist, it will create a new one and with the content whatever is specified there.
Okay. So I have to write this in the playbook, I guess.
Yes, it's on the playbook only. So here in Ansible, how it works is it will just verify like what task it needs to be done. So for example,
Mhm.
if you see this copy command is there, right? So it is like destination is var www index.html. No matter if the file exists or not, it will complete the task. If the file doesn't exist, it will create the file and update the data. If the file exists, it will overwrite the data. Whereas if you get into any other programming languages, what happens in the destination, if the file doesn't exist, the program would fail, stating that the file doesn't exist. But the beauty of Ansible is it will make sure what the requirement is specified on the YAML, that thing gets reflected.
Okay.
So that is the beauty of YAML, Ansible.
Vinay, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Vinay, but if we needed only, we can provide this. Just told like that,
Like,
it's not.
I didn't get your question.
You told like that, the command which you given, the content it will automatically replace if it's not available.
Mhm.
Your voice is breaking.
Now,
Yeah, no,
uh, you have told like that, if the content is not available means it will be updated or created like that. You told now.
yes.
Yes.
Uh, whether we can able to start in certain situation because we will not need this kind of thing. That's why I'm asking you.
Your voice is breaking.
Okay. So let me run the final, this command
Okay,
using. Let's see the result. Okay. So guys, everybody have a book. This is a very simple task. Do with if you have the
Can
time,
share
just do it.
that
Okay.
PDF file to me in Telegram or WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to. I can only telegram this file. Please join this
Okay.
group.
You just
Okay.
share it to me.
I already shared a group chat
Yeah,
to.
But I recently joined, right? So probably I'm not able to get that, right?
Okay, no problem. So you have to join the Telegram group, and I will share this
Mm-hmm.
book again, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
if we
Yeah.
can come, because see, I'm not a professional trainer. Even I'm not. So I'm learning with you guys. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so doubts I have because I'm not a programming background. We can come to
No
this.
problem. Yeah, we just share our knowledge and that's it.
Yeah,
No
that's
worries.
why. Okay, thank you. Okay, okay. Let me run this Ansible playbook. With
one moment.
Okay.
Yeah, before executing this command, right? You just go to that server A where will be installed. Just to verify that these things are not present.
No, what do you want to verify actually? Okay.
It's just for the verification. Just var www. So this path is not present. So we'll know like when we execute that, all those things gets installed here.
Okay. How we create this actually? I don't know. Where's the destination?
So what is the host name on which this playbook
Host name is server one. Let me show you.
runs? So you can log into server one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm in server one.
So you can verify that those paths are not present. var Yeah, that should be fine. Just hit enter. Just hit enter.
I have to create this. I have to create this or what?
Just go to CD. No, don't create any file. Remove that line and just type CD space slash var slash www.
I don't think it's here.
Yeah, Samir, don't do touch. Yeah, okay. So you see that the www folder is not present here.
Yep.
Now go back to the
That you can check also RPM minus QA space pipe symbol grep HTTPD. Check whether the package has been installed or not.
No, it's idempotent, so it will automatically skip that part. So no worries about it.
Yeah, now you can just go back and run the.
So it's not exist. So do we need to create it or not, or it will automatically copy that file to here?
No, you need not create anything.
Okay, device automation. So that's what I was. Okay, guys. So Ansible that.
Now you can run the playbook.
So playbook is started. Let's. First is checking the facts, gathering facts, task latest HTTP was installed. So the task. Is anybody Vivek over here? Vivek Raghunathan? No.
Yeah, Mitch.
Okay.
Yeah, please tell me.
You just ping me on the Telegram group. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine. Okay, no problem.
I just pinged you for that PDF file.
Okay.
If the execution
It will take time. My internet is slow.
So here you see, right, task latest HTTPD version installed. Name that you have given there. In the name column, you have in the name tag you have given, right, latest HTTPD version installed. So that is getting reflected here. So next name is latest firewall D version installed. So that task is getting name is getting reflected here. So that is why you give the name tag.
Guys, you can see over here, there's
Good.
nothing.
Yes.
We have
So now, okay, now if you go to that, you will see that www folder.
So I already authenticated as a server test application. Check server one over here, and where I have to go, cd slash
www
and
slash html.
share.
Yeah. So you saw this. So it just got created.
Okay, guys, it's already created. Great.
So file, yeah, you can get.
And previously it was.
Execution. So if you just go to vi var www html index.html. So instead of cd, just type vi.
That's now.
So
So
beginning of the
whatever.
command you have cd.
So successful, guys. Thanks, Vinay. Support.
Shabam, your voice is breaking. It's not clear.
Actually, my voice. I have a bad internet actually.
So shall we just go back to that again? Yeah. So you see that, right? Welcome to the example.com intranet. So that is, this is what is created. Now, go back to that playbook. Okay. Go back to the output, whatever you had got. Just
Output.
scroll up. So you had got the tasks which were executing, right? The output of the tasks which were executing.
Yeah, so actually in the books it's also clearly showing here. I'm not able to install up right now with my machine. So let me show you
Fine.
here.
Fine. No issues. Just execute this playbook intranet. So there is one more thing that needs to be observed on the output. I'll just let you know.
Okay. Can I execute second time?
Yes, you can execute this. So did you enter?
Yes. If start comes, it means start.
Did the execution kick off? Can be the command.
Vinay,
Yeah.
during that tell the reason for the spaces, the particular means that now you like 8 spaces that
Voice is not audible.
they're telling now for M before that we have to provide 8 spaces. The specific reason or anything behind that for providing exactly 8 spaces we need to provide.
It is not exactly on the number of spaces. It is only for indentation purpose. Like I had explained you before, right? Like for if statement, you use braces. Write if condition and then open the brace, write all the statements and close the brace. So in that case, what happens? Whatever code that is written inside the braces, that belongs to if statement. So here in YAML, we don't have the concept of using braces. So instead of braces, we just indentate to the same number of spaces. So when we use the same number of spaces, that all those statements belong to one group. So which is above that. So yum is one task. So under that task, whatever we write with the same number of, all those will go to uh, yum command. It's like that. So once we are done with yum, again we come back, start with the new task, write a name, and then we write different steps, service or something. And for service, we just indent 4 or 5 spaces and start from there. It is just for a grouping of statements. That's all. Yeah, Shalvim, can you?
Because block also is block.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Showing block also it's for grouping only now block.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I got it actually. Either you can
Block is
mention it
not.
or
Block is
because
not. You need not use block there.
yeah, exactly.
Because
For
block also
example, tell me.
you can also provide that you without block. The
I think
same
your voice is
function.
breaking.